Hello, happy Wednesday. I'm Justin,
I'm Austin. Hey, church.
and this is Wednesday Coffee with us, or Ustin, if you will. Yes, so here we are.
try.
It was a faithful effort. I've been doing these Wednesday coffee things for a couple months, and I don't like it, and I don't feel like it. I don't feel like they've been very good.
Not true. They've been great.
But the one that I've had the most fun with is the one that we did together.
For sure.
And I was thinking about it, and I thought, would Austin be open to just doing it that way all the time? I really like dialogue and kind of wrestling, conversation, holding questions together. So we have decided going forward that we'll do this together, with the caveat, of course, that at least this summer, either you or I
we might be bouncing around a little bit. Because we're out of town quite a bit.
Maybe some weeks that it's just me, or some weeks it's just you. But when we're here together, we'll try doing this together. So here we are, and we both got back on Sunday from
Family camp.
Yeah, it was good. It was exhausting.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, so exhausting. But like a wholly exhausting.
Yeah. So I kind of wondered if maybe for today, for Wednesday Coffee with us, if we could kind of unpack that experience a little bit for people, talk about some of the takeaways for us from family camp. And then maybe some ways in which those takeaways are relevant for all of us, whether we are summertime campers or not.
Yeah.
So I have, by the way, I have sprung this on Austin again. I just 10 minutes ago walked into his office and said, "Hey, let's do this together." And he said, "Okay." And I said, "How about now?" So
okay.
So I have three reflections I want to share, and then do you have another one you want?
Yeah,
to
I've got
add
another
to?
one that I'll add to the list.
Very good. Next time it'll be a more mutual,
equally shared load.
Right. But I have had more time to think about this than you. So, okay. So reflections from family camp. First of all, what is family camp? Disciples Crossing, our holy campground out in East Texas, outside of Athens. Family camp was designed to be a shared camp experience for kids and their parents or grandparents or whatever. It's a nice kind of intro to the camp experience for kids that feel safe because they're there with family and all that. And it's also a great time for families just to be together and bond more deeply. And
yeah, it's interesting how it kind of starts off as the get your kid introduced to camp, and then now you've got some families at family camp, some with teenagers that had just started going every year because it's that meaningful.
Just love being there, being together. Yeah. A couple things I took away this year. It was like cool this spring, and then all of a sudden it decided it was like summer right now. It was hot. It was tiring. It was exhausting, but it was a good and meaningful time, I thought. First takeaway for me, Mark 6, Jesus says, "Come away to a deserted place and rest a while." And that is an important charge, an important call, consistent with the ways of a God who values Sabbath and commanded that from the beginning. We had on Friday night, I got up and I was kind of doing the intros for the event. All the families had gathered together. And I asked the question of all the kids. I said, "Why are we here?"
Which is a dangerous thing to do.
It was a risk. And I thought maybe, we'd get one kid saying, "Oh, we're here to have fun." And that's true, by the way. One kid who might say, "We're here to swim in the lake," which is also true. Mm-hmm. I was utterly unprepared for the spread of beautiful answers.
Oh my goodness. Theologically rich
answers from the kids. They were talking about, we're here to build community,
build the kingdom,
and love each other in ways that are mutually life-giving. And but my favorite answer came from little Jonah Borges Callison.
Mhm.
And he is, I think, a fourth grader, maybe fifth. And he raised his hand, and I took the mic up, and he said, "We are here for temporary respite from the crushing pressures and anxieties of life and the world." And we all just...
You're right.
yeah, wow. So I was moved by that, and I guess the question that I have for everybody is, how are you going to find that this summer?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had another mutual ministry friend of ours who gets our newsletter say to me 2 weeks ago. She said, "I read your church newsletter, and you all do so much stuff." And I think she meant that as a celebration.
Totally.
And maybe a little bit of a caution.
Yeah.
We are called to come with Jesus to deserted places and rest a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for somebody that may mean going away to camp. It could mean a little vacation. It could mean going and sitting out in your backyard and listening to a bird sing.
I had a professor in undergrad that used to tell us, you can't fill up somebody else's cup from an empty well. You got to make sure that you are going to places and spending time in places with people who are filling your well too. Whether that's spiritually in nature, or whether that's academically or socially in the right circles, right? Like, you've got to give yourself the space to recharge, right?
Yeah. And summer, I do think, there's always stuff going on, and
Totally.
and we're always seeking to be, faithful, purposeful servants. But also, I think Jesus valued rhythms, and he went away up on mountainsides and prayed and rested, and so I really want to challenge ourselves, because we got a lot going on this summer too. And everybody watching this, even if it's a day or two, even if it's 15 minutes a day, whatever that looks like, I would love it if I knew that you had an answer to the question, how will I find respite and Sabbath this summer?
Totally.
So that was one. Second, and maybe relatedly, actually, I'm going to go to the one that we talked about third, second.
Okay.
So families at family camp all looked different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was beautiful. It was just this tapestry of families. And in some cases you had mom and dad and multiple kids. And in some cases you had grandparents. In some cases you had single parents there with one or more kids. You had mixed families, just all kinds of stuff. And one of the awarenesses that came to us at the end of the weekend, something that I hadn't really thought about and maybe should have. So we asked the question, we had a long free time. We had 4 hours of free time. The lake was open 1 to 3. The pool was open 3 to 5.
Yep.
And we asked the question in sort of reflecting on the weekend, how did families like that free time?
Yep.
And the answer that we got was couples loved it.
Yeah, because it works out real great, right? I'd take Hudson to the lake. Jordan then hangs out in the pool with the kids.
That's exactly what we did too. I did the lake. Jamie did the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Single parents of kids that wanted to be were in the sun for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And probably I should have.
Sure.
It is. It's hard. It's hard being a parent. Period.
Yeah.
And then there are some parents that are having to, carry that alone or differently, right?
Sure.
Whatever that looks like for them. And it made me wonder, especially in the summertime, right? Kids are out of school, and you've got sometimes single parents who are just scrapping to make it work.
Yeah. Or even, right, working parents, households where the parents are gone for weeks on end, and
How does that work? What does that look like? So it made me wonder just how we can, as church, be aware of and attentive to that, especially during the summer.
Absolutely.
There may not be easy answers, but how, if we're talking about the value of respite and rest, like how could we as church maybe find some ways to help provide that, especially for parents who are in, difficult situations this summer, having to.
Yeah. I think, it starts with just seeing those parents and, reaching out when you can. If you see a tough situation, hey, can I help with this, or can I take something off your plate? One thing that I've seen that I think our congregation does really well, and I've seen this play out in real time, is we do a lot of like potlucks or life togethers, and I've seen families kind of adopt, or folks adopt a parent or somebody to help them out with plates, right? I've tried to go through a line with both my kids before, and it is a mess and a half, and so it's helpful. Those are the moments that I think we can take some initiative to step in and show up in just little ways that make a huge difference for those parents.
For sure.
Yeah,
well said. We're at 11 minutes already. I'm gonna do my third one really quick and then turn it over to you.
Let me jump into mine really quick, because I think it relates to this too, because my experience at family camp was that I saw some of that, but I saw the kids showing up for kids.
Ooh.
So the Modders were co-directors with y'all, and they've got two kiddos, two little girls, and Ryan and I talk about the difference between parenting girls versus boys, and just like all the differences there, and the difficulties there. But the reality is, both of his girls kind of like adopted our kiddos during the weekend, and were helping out in ways that were really helpful for me and Jordan, but also ways that made our kids feel included and loved, and like camp is a special place where those relationships can be built. And I think like the beauty there is bringing that home and seeing the ways that our kids are continuing those relationships, and how we can best encourage that here. Family camp is a beginning for a lot of that.
Right. And I mean, obviously I'm a big believer that, and I talk about this in my book, purpose is not something that, it's not a switch that gets flipped when you turn 18 or 21 or 35 or whatever age you're supposed to be a grown up and have purpose. I mean, these kids, now let's be honest, the Modder kids are a little bit exceptional.
True.
They've got exceptional parents
It's
and
true.
grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
Dan and Pat Kerr. But yeah, Lydia in particular, as a 10-year-old, oh my gosh, she's 10 going on 36.
100%.
Ryan told me that she's like the welcome. If she's not the whole welcome team, she's a huge part of the welcome team at Creekwood Christian Church.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times this weekend I saw her just come alongside a little child, and take his hand and just kind of walk them through whatever was next. And it's a huge reminder. I mean, she saw herself as a junior director.
Yeah. Yeah, and
right?
I love that. Giving kids that sense of ownership with their faith and with the relationships that are in their hands. I love it.
Amen. Purpose is a lifelong thing, which brings me to my final point. So I mentioned grandparents. They actually weren't. There was this couple at camp, and they came with what I thought were their grandsons. They weren't their grandsons. Did you know this?
No.
They were their great-grandsons.
Dang, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I said to somebody, maybe my wife, I was like, wow, what that we will be at family camp, in however many years with our and actually that's not going to happen, because I'd have to be like 120. I'm an old parent, I have to be like 120 to be there with my great-grandkids. But regardless, maybe grandkids, what a special thing. And I was just reminded, and I know, look, it's not going to happen for all senior adults, being able to sleep in a bunk, in a dorm in East Texas. This particular couple was able to do that. But regardless, I'm just reminded of the fact, and I think we proclaim this all the time here. I've said it ad nauseum, I know, but I'll say it again. And this is a little bit in tension with the rest thing. That whole thing is true.
Yep.
And purpose is for everybody, including kids and senior adults. You can retire from your job. You can't retire from purpose. If you have breath, God will give you purpose. even if that is, I mean, if you are homebound, if you are bed fast, like if you're bed bound, you can pray.
Absolutely.
You know,
make a phone call.
you can
send
make a phone
text.
call, yeah, to somebody, checking in on them.
Absolutely.
And I was just really moved by seeing this couple out there, and just reminded of the fact that not only is senior adulthood a time for purpose, but it's kind of a special time for a particular and very important kind of purpose.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for the senior adults that we have here at FCC, who have gained wisdom over the years and have committed themselves to doing whatever they can to pass along that wisdom to kids and young ignorant folks like me.
Amen. Like the two of us.
All right, we good?
We good.
We
That's
good?
Good talk.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Good talk. Thank y'all for clicking in. We'll continue to do this. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to keep it shorter next time. Who knows?
Maybe
not.
I don't know. I'm just like my sermons are going to be shorter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless you. Have a
Bye,
great
church.
rest of your week.
Love y'all.